Hey guys, it's Tasha here from Art, Song and Soul, and I've been getting a few requests about how I make up my mini albums, because you guys will probably be hearing me say that I've been making non-stop mini albums. I've got a lot of Christmas orders at the moment, and I'm making a lot up for shows and stuff. So I just have been getting some requests about how I make them, because I make the easiest paper bag mini albums you can, because I try and make mini albums that are well put together, like, you know, well made, but the quickest way I can do it. And you know, I do embellish them, but I keep the embellishing to a minimum, because I have to think about costs and how much time and supplies and all that kind of thing. So this is a basic album that I make to sell. Like when I make them for my scrappy friends, you know, I do them a little bit differently, but this is basically how I make my mini albums, how my mini albums are. They vary from book to book, but they generally sort of follow this theme. This is just a little bit bigger than 6x6. So I just use the big photo mats. I often tuck in tags, just depends. Yeah, and I like I said, I just do really simple embellishing, because I want to make these books up quick. Like I try to make, you know, a couple even more a day if I can. If I have a good sitting and don't get interrupted, then I can make 3 or 4 up at a time. And I often like to make 2 at a time, because it's just quicker that way. You know, you cut all your paper, and because I sort of do this systematically, I cut all my papers up. I, you know, like do my photo mats and put all the lace and stuff on them, or wherever I need to put lace, I put the lace, lay all my papers down, and then I go back after, put my tags in, and do these photo mats with the scraps that are left over. So yeah, they're pretty simple, guys, and they're pretty similar the whole way through. And I'm just going to quickly show you, well, it might not be quick, it could be a 2-part video, I don't know, how I do these easy mini albums. And if you guys watch the Paper Bag Lady one, her mini albums are similar to these ones in the way that they are the simplest way to make them. But I think she does a little bit more embellishing, and products over here are quite expensive, so I have to sort of, you know, be mindful of what I use and stuff. So that's that. It's 6 pages, including the front and back cover, and like it comes out quite sturdy, guys. And if you want to, you can put you know, you've still got that area there to put photo mats and stuff. And if you're making them for yourself, like I said, I sell them. If I was to put photo mats in there, it would just use up so much more paper once you back them onto another piece of cardstock, blah blah blah. So because I've got to think about time, so that's why if you've seen lately, I sort of make a video here and there on different little projects I make. I do little different things in between making mini albums, because doing this, as much as I love it, does get a little bit monotonous. So those are my mini albums, and I'm going to show you how I make them. So I'll be back in a minute, guys. I just got to get the stuff. I just actually found this mini album too. These mini albums that I make, I just cut them down smaller to the other one you just saw, and these ones that I make here are even more simple. I just literally just put a photo mat on them. Oh, okay. And I do a few tags and pockets too. And these ones here I usually make up 2 at a time, because they're so quick and they're so easy. So I love to use DCWV paper because the thickness is nice, you know, because I can just use glue throughout the whole thing, because I use a mixture of glue, dry adhesive, and my hot glue gun. But and it's quicker just to use wet glue, and so that's why I like DCWV papers. I mean, it's okay using other papers as well, but they're my favourite because they're easy to coordinate. And so yeah, I just wanted to show you that little book as well, because that's the same one as the last one, but it's just cut down to a smaller size. So what you guys are going to need is some paper bags. Now these ones measure approximately 35 centimetres by 16 centimetres. So when you fold that in half, it just is a little bit bigger than a 6x6 mini oven. So, and these ones are quite nice paper bags, and I buy these in bulk. So if you're planning on making heaps of mini albums like me, that's the way to go. So I hope I don't use any technical words in this, guys, and I hope I don't go too fast for you, because it can get pretty tricky and complex. So what you're going to need is a pokey thingy. You're going to need your paper bags and a needle and thread. Now, if you have a sewing machine, this mini album just got 700 times easier for you. But it is already easy peasy. So what I do is I get 3. This only takes 3 paper bags, guys. I just fold them in half, like so. I grab my bone folder and I make sure there's a fold in there, guys. So that's why I'm going there. All those folds are nice. So you do that to all your paper bags, all 3 of them. Like that. So you want all your creases nice and crisp. I mean, I get the kids to do this, because I do get them to do about 30 at a time. So once you've got all nice creases, now this is the tricky bit, guys. So pay attention. You put one down this way. These are the paper bags with the gussets. One down this way, and the other one you put in the alternate direction. So one you want the gusset, on the right, and then the next one you want the gusset on the left, and then the next one you want it on the right. That's it, guys. That is my super easy binding method. So, like I said, if you have a sewing machine, you just run that sewing machine straight up the middle. Maybe twice if you want to, whatever. If you've got a crocodile, you can just poke a couple of holes in here and feed some ribbon, twine, whatever through. But this is what I like to do. So I get my little mouse pad, I get my pokey thingy, Madoo, and I just poke a hole in the middle and one on either side. Crazy, eh, guys? That's that. Then I take my needle and thread. This is quite strong thread, guys. That you could use baker's twine or whatever. I take my thread, and this is actually the same binding that I use on my envelope tutorial, so if you've seen that, you'll know. You start at the middle and you go through that hole. You see that, guys? I can't see if you can see. Through that hole, you pull it through, you leave a tail. You go up through one of these other holes. Like so. And then down through this one. Come on. So you've gone straight from this hole up to this hole, and now we're out this in the middle now, and then just back up through the middle. You guys have, if you guys are into binding books, you'll know that that's the easiest way to bind a book. But this works out fine, guys. It it's perfectly strong enough. So then I just have the tail on one side and the needle and thread on the other. I pull tight, not too tight you're going to rip something, and then I just what's going on here? I've just made the biggest, I don't know what I was doing then. I do this so many times, but as soon as I'm on camera I go on. Oh, what is going on? I've just turned into a weirdo. Here we go. Now I cut that. Now what I sometimes do is I just put a bit of hot glue here and press it on. Yes, hot glue does burn too. But I can't even feel it nowadays. So I do that just to keep that tidy there, because I always tie a little bit of ribbon on my books, or I cover this with washi or something like that. So there's the book, guys. That is how easy peasy it is. So that's it for now, guys.